We are almost at New Year's as we are here live today, and many people are talking about New Year's resolutions. So today, I'm going to talk a lot about how to use tools like AI, and I'm also going to talk about some other tools and resources that can help you build towards success in reaching goals and in being what I love to talk about with people, in becoming a high achiever. For those of you who are joining me for the first time, I'm Dr. Ellen Ettinger, and I love to help people start and think about where they are and what they want to do to create their best life, to become super achievers, so when there's something they want to do, they know how to do it and know how to get there, and to feel empowered and skilled in the areas of building goals to success. So again, I welcome you all here. I see people joining, and I am so glad to have you here. Today, we're going to talk about success in reaching your goals. And New Year's is a common time when people talk about changing, about life transformation. It's going to be a new year, a new me. I want to do this. And there are really a number of common New Year's resolutions, some of which I'm going to be using as examples. But what often happens with New Year's resolutions is New Year's happens January 1st, and people get busy in the first and second week of January, and they end up either forgetting that they made these New Year's resolutions because it no longer feels like New Year's, or they just become too busy with life, with everything else going on, and they again don't succeed. I've mentioned this before in group. There's actually a day called Quitter's Day, the second Friday in January, where by that point, a lot of people have forgotten their New Year's resolutions, and by February, even more have forgotten. So what I want to talk about today is how to stay on track, how to continue building towards success, and how AI and some resources are available to help you do that. I'm going to be talking about steps people need to take to reach goals. We all know that in order to reach goals, in order to get from where you are to where you want to be, there have to be a series of steps to move you along the way. And in order to get from here to here, you have to have a successful sequence of steps. And I want to talk about two types of steps and sub-steps. And I talk about these with all of my clients, and I think it's what helps them build towards success, what helps build people into super achievers, high achievers. So I want to share this with you so that you too can try to incorporate this into your planning to create your best life, to reach your highest success. So two types of steps I talk about. One are physical and logical steps. So for example, if you want to get a new job, you might need to sit down and write a new resume. You might need to list out your education, your experiences, your successes, so you can explain them to a potential new job. These are all physical and logical things you need to do. If you want to lose weight, you're probably going to have to exercise and have some type of diet arrangement to help you lose the weight. And these are physical and logical steps. These are examples of what you need to do along the way. And there is another type of steps and sub-steps that I call emotional and thought steps. And these may be something like, I want to get a new job and I need to sit down and rewrite my resume, but I'm really busy today. I have so many things to do. I'm going to do it another time. And so you end up putting it off because you feel busy. You feel stressed with other things in your life. Or if you're trying to lose weight and your physical step was to go to the gym 3 times a week, You may think to yourself, wow, I had a really stressful day at work today. I'm too tired to go to the gym, or I don't love the gym, I'm going to skip the gym today. These are emotional and thinking steps and sub-steps, and they need to align with your physical and logical steps. And the physical and logical steps I call PAL steps. The emotional and thinking steps that need to align, I call them the EAT steps. And the EAT steps have to be there just like the PAL steps. If you don't have the emotional and thinking steps in line, the EAT steps, they may eat up your pathway, and they may eat up your goals. You may not reach what you need. Most of goal programs focus almost entirely or mostly on physical and logical steps, the PAL steps. And that's why with most programs and many programs, a lot of people feel frustrated. With a lot of weight loss programs, people say, I followed all the rules, I did everything they said, but I didn't get the results. Again, they need to align. So I want you to think about these different types of steps and substeps that you will need to succeed. So I want to talk to you, and now I want to start talking about what AI and how you can use AI to help you reach goals. And it could be fun. It can help you. It can provide some guidance. So I'm going to give you a formula that you can use, a general formula. Of course, you can subspecialize it for your own area. But the general formula is how can I do X, where X is your goal, in Y time, where Y is the time that you plan to do it. So let's say for your New Year's resolution, you want to write a book about something. So you might write into AI, how can I write a book in 6 months? Please tell me the steps I need to do. You might even want to add on, please tell me the steps I need to do each month along the way to write a book in 6 months. And it will give you a number of steps. Excuse me. I have a cold, but I wanted to show up tonight to be with you and to share with you. So I apologize for a little coughing. I am feeling a little better. But I do want to be here with you to give you information and to support you. So again, with AI, you can put your formula in. How can I get a new job in my industry in 3 months or 6 months or a year? That will really depend on your industry and the time frame that's realistic. And AI will usually print out, it will tell you to get a new job, you need to revise your resume. You need to review your education. You need to review and make a report on your experiences that will be influential in getting you a new job. So AI will help you. Another word that's really important for AI, besides the formula that I gave you, is to use the word expand. So when AI gives you steps, you might want to say, please expand on step number 3 you wrote about whatever. Please tell me more about how I can accomplish that, or please break that into steps and sub-steps. And AI can help you visualize what you need to do along the way. Now AI, most of the steps that AI will lay out for you are the physical and logical steps of what you need to do to go along the pathway. But remember, you also need the emotional and thinking skills to support, to align with your physical and logical steps. We usually think most obviously about the physical and logical steps of accomplishing goals. And again, for weight loss programs, they'll tell you, you need to eat this, you need to stop eating this, mostly sugars or largely sugars and high-calorie foods, and you need to exercise X number of times, some of them will tell you. But the reason a lot of people don't succeed with some weight loss programs is they hear the rules, but it's really difficult. And a lot of the weight loss programs, the diet is very rigid and minimal. They want to do, there are the high-fat, the low-fat programs, the high-carb, low-carb programs. And these I consider all very difficult to follow. I don't actually recommend those to my clients. And I do work a lot with clients who want to lose weight and build success with them. And I don't recommend any of these extreme, rigid programs because they're so difficult to stay on that I find, and my clients report, that in the past they haven't been realistic for them or practical. So again, I think it's really important to make sure that, first of all, you have emotional and thinking steps that can help support you. And also to make sure that the physical and logical steps that are given to you for any particular goal are realistic for you in particular and relevant for you in particular. AI doesn't know everything about you or everything about your job or your personality or your situation. And you can input things. You can tell them, I work from 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock. I can't go to the gym during the day. I'm only available 2 nights a week. Or you can input things about your life to try to get them to align more to your needs. But they don't know everything about you like they would if you were working with one person, with an expert individually. So AI can be helpful in many respects, but there are a lot of other resources that you might find helpful as well. I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the obstacles that people encounter when they're trying to reach goals. And one of the obstacles that I commonly refer to is, again, we talked about that path you need, and a lot of people find the path was slippery. For example, the one that I gave where a diet plan is very rigid and they only allow you to eat a limited area of food groups. And it's really difficult to stay on something like that. And I call a pathway like that slippery, a slippery slope, because people in those types of programs, I find, and people tell me, they frequently fall off the path, either because they can't stay on it, or after a period of time, they'll just get tired of it. It doesn't last. Again, another obstacle that I like to describe, if the path was unrealistic or impractical or unsustainable. So if you're trying to build for a managerial position, that's really unrealistic for you at this point, and you're trying to write a resume that you know you can't live up to at this point. So the pathway has to be realistic. And again, we want to have those physical and logical steps. We want to back them up with emotional and thinking skills as well. I just want to stop for a moment and say hello to all the people who have been joining in. I love building our community here and knowing that you are here, because I know that you're building your success plan. And I'm so excited for you and all the success that you're going to see in this coming year. So we've been talking about some pathways to success in reaching goals, how AI can help us. We're going to talk about some other resources as well. And we're talking about some obstacles in pathways. So I spoke a little bit about pathways sometimes not being realistic or impractical or sustainable, about pathways that are slippery, that you can easily fall off of. You want to feel confident in your pathway. When you create your steps, you want to look at your steps and say, you know what? I know I can stay on this. I know I can do this. And I know that my emotional and thinking skills align and are with me on this. Another kind of slippery slope is if your pathway just sometimes doesn't feel relevant and exciting to you. It's just not fun. For example, there are people who just don't enjoy the gym. They don't like going to the gym. And on a weight loss program, if they pressure you and tell you you have to go to the gym X number of times a week, that's going to be a really risky plan for somebody who hates a gym. But there are, and I tell my clients who are trying to lose weight, you don't have to go to a gym. There are lots of different types of physical movement that don't require a gym, that don't require time for a gym or gym equipment. There's a lot of dancing programs, yoga programs, a lot of things that you can do, walking, running, a lot of things. So again, if you don't enjoy it, if it's not realistic, if it's not practical, if it's not sustainable, these are all obstacles that people encounter on pathways that are slippery. We want to make our pathways logical and doable. And a really important obstacle to goal success, even when you've laid out plans that seem logical, that it should enable you to reach a goal, is if this was the only goal in your life, you'd be able to do it. But for most of the people that I work with, they're busy. They have a lot of tasks. Many of them are parents, have young families or growing families, and they're doing lots of things. And thinking of putting all these steps and sub-steps each month, each week, and each day into their schedule can feel overwhelming and exhausting. People say, I'm juggling all of my work responsibilities. And I tell people you should have 3, 4, or 5 goals at a time. One for work, one for home, maybe family or your home environment. One for personally for you, maybe health related or maybe hobby related, personal growth, personal learning. And then there may be other goals that you might want to have as well, maybe physical, maybe financial, or there's a lot of different types of goals that people like to have. But I say at any time you should have 3, 4, or 5 goals that you're working on so that you can really create your best life. And there's no reason that you can't get these to work together. It's just that you have to have the gears all in order working together, or it can feel overwhelming. And it's really important that this work in reaching goals is fun, that it's enjoyable. When you're home alone and you feel isolated and you're working on the pathway and you feel like, oh no, I feel like I'm falling off the pathway. I thought I could do this, but now I'm having a problem. It's really important to have resources to help you and support, to know that you can stay on track, that you can build multiple goals on the way to creating your best life, to becoming a high achiever, a super achiever. No matter how busy you are in life, it's building those goal-creating skills that makes it easier for you to continue doing that in your life. So I want to encourage you to think about incorporating not just the physical and logical steps that are important in reaching for goals, but to think about the emotional and thinking skills involved that will support your fulfilling the physical and logical goals. Again, the emotional skills and thinking are maybe being committed to doing the steps along the way. For example, again, if you've had a stressful day at work and you may think at the end of the day, I'm supposed to go to the gym, but I'm tired, I'm going to go home instead. How can you handle that emotional decision? That's really an emotional and a thinking decision. What skills can help you deal with that encounter and that decision? Or what skills can help you create steps that are more fun than the basic steps that are commonly laid out? How can you make your plan more fun so that you're more motivated to follow a pathway and that you have more momentum? These are all things to think about. If you feel that you'd like help in building these EAT skills, these emotional and thinking skills, so they don't eat up your goals, so they don't get in the way of your goal assessment, I encourage you to feel free to look for my link to my calendar and reach out to me. This is such an important time. So many people have so many goals on their minds. And again, the important thing is to get all the gears working together so you can be building all of your goals. You can be creating your best life, even though you know that you may be juggling all the areas of life together, but that you have a plan of steps and sub-steps of PAL goals and of EAT goals that will support you moving forward and keeping momentum in all of the areas of your life. And then you truly become a high achiever, a super achiever. So I wish that for all of you in our group here. If this resonates with you, I encourage you to think about the PAL, the physical and logical goals, and also the emotional and thinking goals. If you'd like my support, and there are many ways I can support you, we can have our basic conversation. We can talk about working one-to-one together. We can talk about some groups that I have. We can talk about some work-related areas, many ways of getting support. I am happy to talk about that as well. So again, when you're creating your physical and logical steps, AI can be really helpful to assist you with that. Again, the formula that I shared with you, how can I do X a goal in Y time? Think about following up with the word expand. Expand on step number whatever that you gave and give me more information about that step, or break that into more steps and sub-steps if you'd like more information. That can be a fun way to think about some of the steps along the way. But applying these steps specifically to you and helping you get through some of the emotional and thinking obstacles along the way often and usually needs to be more personalized, more customized for you. I am happy to help you with that if I can be of help. I want this to be a year where you really start out and feel this is going to be your year, where you really are working with momentum and reaching goal after goal after goal. And with PAL and EAT steps and sub-steps, there's no stopping what you can accomplish. So I congratulate you for being here. I encourage you to move forward with it. If you'd like my help, feel free to reach out. If you're watching this in Facebook, you can find my calendar in the description of our group. I will try to put my calendar in the chat as well. And if you are watching this in YouTube, I will try to put my calendar in the description of this underneath as well. Everybody, please put in the comments if you're finding this helpful. That will help me know whether I should build on this and give you more information on this, or whether I'm going to move forward on some other topics. I'm going to let you all know, I do have a workshop coming up at some point to talk about the full scope set of types of goals that people have, like work types of goals, home and family types of goals, personal growth, health, hobbies, finances, all different types of goals that people talk about. I'm going to do a whole workshop on how you can identify your goals and set goals that you'd like. So, and I usually charge people for that. It's a big workshop. There's a lot of back and forth that transpires. There's usually, when I do the workshop, I usually charge $250, but as members in my group in Facebook, and if you subscribe to my channel, you will get this automatically, and therefore there will be no charge for you as members and subscribers. So I'm really looking forward to providing that to you as well. But of course, let's get this going. If you'd like my support, feel free to reach out to me. I do have some limited appointments coming up, and I'm really looking forward to supporting you in any way I can, to helping you build your success. Make sure you come every week to see my topics. If you have any topic that you'd like me to talk about, let me know. Either in the chat, let me know, or again, schedule with me and let me know what's on your mind. I can't wait to see you succeed and to see your great successes, and I'm happy to be here for you. Let's talk soon.